what makes Uli special.
The amount of information that we are giving at a table sets us a little bit above.
You can play two games. You can play the race to be the cheapest, or you can play the race to be the best.
Nobody that owns a restaurant's getting rich anytime soon.
Your philosophy around hiring and trying to make it really inclusive and a family comfortable setting for the people that you hired.
I might get emotional.
Jennie Silk, I'm so happy for you to join us today on the Best of White Rock. I was looking very forward to you coming over. I'm excited to introduce you to the community, even though I think, and I'm pretty convinced that the community knows who you are. Some people, they do, and they're certainly going to recognize your place of employment and all the good things you're doing for the community and everybody that lives in it over there. So I'd love you to tell everybody who you are and what you do.
I'm Jennie Silk. I am the general manager of Uli's Restaurant on Marine Drive in White Rock.
Marine Drive in White Rock. So I'm sure many people are familiar with that. There are many people who are familiar with Uli's, and you've got a pretty long tenure there as well.
Yeah, it'll be 17 years this fall.
Did you ever think that you'd be there for 17? Isn't it amazing when you have a job like that and you've been there and you love it so much, you've been there for so long, you look back and you're like, oh my gosh, that's crazy.
It was literally a part-time job to get out of the house after raising my daughter. I sent her off to grade 1 a year early because she needed to go. She was a smarty pants. And not like scholastically, but in attitude. And yeah, she needed to be a small fish in a big pond. So off she went, and I didn't know what to do with myself. And miraculously, literally that week, Tyson said, I bought my dad's restaurant. So I went to work part-time days while she was in school, and that snowballed. Became the sous chef, and then we built a whole other business, and then I became the chef, and then I worked my way out front. We got a little too busy for short little woman in the kitchen, so we hired a giant, and I moved out front to start to talk to people. My restaurant career at 13 was out front, so I was familiar, but it had been a long time, and after you're in the kitchen for a long time, it's an interesting transition. But I enjoyed it. I like talking to people, and hospitality's in my blood. It's what I do. I think even when I'm sick, like I'm feeding my family, and it's just ingrained 100%. So there we are, and now I'm there just rolling around through the days.
Yeah, so well, you give off the vibe that you're not built to be hidden in the kitchen. You need to be out enjoying people.
I do like to hide in the kitchen on occasion.
It's always comfortable to go over there when you need a little bit of a break and some time to yourself, I'm sure. But even certainly just getting to know you in preparation for this and meeting you today and whatnot in person, you're certainly built to interact with people. I think that's a really good spot for you. So that's really exciting. So you started off as a sous chef there. And you spent how long in the sous chef role at Uli's?
Must have been a couple of years, probably 2 or 3 years.
Is that your background, cooking as well?
Well, yeah, I did go to culinary school. I did the university for a bit, and then I found myself staying home watching cooking shows and not going to school. So that's when I said goodbye to university and hello to culinary school. I do still think I would have made a great meteorologist. The weather is something that I have a very it's close to my heart, and I watch the weather come in nonstop on that beach. So
it's a great job too. You look outside and people, you look really smart because people go, "What's the weather going to be like?" And you look up and you go, "It's going to be sunny."
I know about direction. We check that wind, the flag, everything. I got some points.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, and being down on White Rock Beach, I'm sure that's helpful because you can tell when you need to send staff home early because it's going to get raining or storms are coming in.
Well, and it's so different from the beach. Like but it'll be like quiet. It's so lovely out and it's quiet. I'm like, what's happening?
Yeah.
Well, it's pouring uptown.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But we're in that little pocket of sunshine.
It is actually statistically better weather in White Rock than the rest of Metro Vancouver. I believe it's 11 days per year. There's more sunshine down there. Yeah. And I noticed this living in White Rock too, like driving up the hill into Surrey. It's sunny and beautiful in White Rock, and then you drive into the clouds. And a friend years ago sent me this meme of the Lion King when Mufasa's talking to his son Simba and saying, "You see over that horizon out there?"
Yes.
I Surrey.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny. So
Yeah, that's kind of it.
so you were the sous chef for 2 years, and then you moved in. You said there was something else that you guys had started.
We had built Beast and Brine, which was a deli in Crescent Beach, or right at Crescent Park.
Yeah.
We made all our own sausages, deli meats. We imported all these lovely cheeses from Quebec and all over Canada. So again, it was very local and all scratch made. We're a bit crazy. And yeah, that lasted for a few years. And then we realized that we really could only handle one full-time job.
Right.
So we sold that off and left my husband there for a little while to be the sausage maker till they closed the town. And then I went back to the restaurant to be the chef. And then here we are.
Now you're in the GM position. That's really neat.
So I fix toilets and
You do it all, yeah.
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 I probably could get my age back at this point.
I mean, you must see a ton of the White Rock community, not only from coming in. I mean, Uli's has been around for absolutely forever, right? So, I mean, you've been there for 17 years. How long has the business been around?
86. It was down the street first, and then I think it moved to its maybe 90. Oh, I want to say like 93, and it was half the building, and then the wall went down, and then it was 2 buildings.
Right.
So, and that's where we are now. I think 97 was probably when the 2.
Okay. It's been there for a really long time. It's been a staple in White Rock for a really long time too. I mean, even, we get a lot of people that come in from out of town for our real estate business, and we always tell them Uli's is like one of the number 1 spots you need to go check out. Cause I mean, the food is so consistent, it's so good. Everyone there's so lovely and quite nice. So, well, they better be. Yeah. Now we know who to call if there's ever,
Right?
yeah, if they're ever not, right?
It's really been there for, and we see every summer, without a doubt, we'll get a handful of people. I worked here when I was 15. I remember this. Dancing on the bar, the stories, and a lot of them are true. I found out, and even sweet little grandmas telling me stories about things they did in that restaurant, and yeah, it's mind-boggling true. I thought they were just Uli's tales, but no.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff happened.
So you've seen a lot of the community come through, and you've probably also had a lot of the community, especially like the teenagers and early adults and whatnot.
Well, I've watched some of these kids grow up and become parents.
Yeah.
And become doctors, and yeah, it's pretty impressive, and it's very cool to see somebody who we've gave them their first job and they just went and ran with it, became this very well-rounded little human, and then off to school, and they come back and visit us, and they're like degrees and children.
Yeah.
It's very, very cool.
Well, you're getting close to the next generation being able to work there too, right?
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, I suckered mine, and my daughter, she has a little joke when people ask how long she's worked there.
Yeah.
Her response is legally. We did maybe use her a little bit. We paid her.
Yeah.
But yeah, she definitely got sucked into some extra hands. We'd just be for lunch, and it got really busy. I'm like, I need you on that glass washer.
Yeah.
And yeah, so now she's a full-grown woman, and my HR manager.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
She took off to Australia for a little while, and when
Yeah.
she came back, I'm like, what are you doing? You need a job?
Yeah.
So she's, and it's good. She's not quite as outgoing as I am. She has to put on a little bit of but obviously my blood's in there, so she does great.
I'm sure she does okay. Yeah, when the situation comes up
She'll
for
figure
her.
it out.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So yeah, keeping it in the family.
Yeah, well, why not? I mean, that's always one of the challenges of running a small business too, is like even just staffing and keeping everybody either busy or, I mean, one of the things with White Rock Beach, as we were talking earlier, is notorious for is it's really difficult to staff because you've got, the winter where you're wondering if anyone's even showing up that day versus the summertime where, as I think you experienced last night, you had a nice big coffee on the way in because you were there late last night because you guys got smoked, right? Like it was quite busy there last night.
Yeah, staffing is, the summer, winter, we've done it enough times. We kind of manage it. Really what it comes down to is the labor pool here is not as great. A lot of kids don't need jobs that are growing up in these neighborhoods.
Mhm.
So, but then their parents force them out to get jobs, and then
Oh,
it's our responsibility to turn them into, humans.
Yeah.
Buses, we can't get them home. Like that's really what people do. If you don't drive and you're not going to walk up and down the hill to park, transits, huge problem.
Yeah.
And that is, it's really been an issue, especially like dishwashers. They're the last ones out.
Right.
And they're always kids. They're 17-year-old, maybe 18. And they can't get home. And that's the problem. So we're, carpooling kids up the hill to get the bus that is up there because no buses will come down. That's really, I think that's been the bigger challenge for us. And I will complain to the city constantly and TransLink and everybody who will listen. But
that's an interesting challenge. I never really thought of that. The restaurants and the businesses down there would struggle with is just getting people up and down. I mean, parking down there is already terrible to begin with. Half the time living in South Surrey White Rock, people don't go down there because they're saying, I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, we say goodbye to our regulars basically right around this time of year. And they're like, see ya. We'll see you in the fall because they don't, some of them that walk down, sure, they'll come down mid-afternoon. We'll see them at 3 p.m. and then they're gone again. But it gets a bit crazy down there. There's a lot of challenges. I was recently in a BIA meeting with some other ladies. It was all women, this particular meeting. But uptown, Five Corners, and we all have the same problem, parking.
Oh, really? Okay.
And it was crazy. Yeah. I'm like, it's one of the two things that the city uses as revenue, and yet it's just such a schmoz, and everyone's complaining. There's no... Yeah, so there's lots of challenges on the beach.
I could get into parking and
we do it for
I know totally. It's I mean there's lots to be said about that for sure. I want to pivot a little bit here. You run one of the most successful restaurants on White Rock Beach and have been doing so for a long time, and it's stood the test of time. So I'm curious what your opinion is on what makes what you do at Uli special, or what makes Uli special that has been able to help it stand the test of time. Because I mean, you can go down and drive the strip, as many people do in the spring or the summer every year, and you go, oh wow, there's like 6 new restaurants down here because 6 old restaurants are now gone, and usually they're the ones that are the newer in town, the ones that haven't had the test of time and that sort of thing. What do you think it is that's unique about Uli's that keeps people coming back or has helped you have that longevity?
Well, I think it being an institution obviously helps us out. It's very recognizable. It's right across from the pier. You could see it when you're walking.
Yeah.
That definitely plays a bit of it. What I feel is that we embrace hospitality. We look at everybody coming in the door as our friend, like so much to the point where we had a little contest to see who could stop saying guys, because we say, hi guys.
It's so hard.
It's really hard. We had a little swear jar for guys.
That's
and so a lot of them chose to use friends, and it's very inviting. It sounds great. And they're friends. Yeah. We work really hard to give people the best we can find. I had to write this little bio for these cooking classes. And it is something I say all the time. We buy good product. We do as little to it as possible and serve it to people honestly. Mm-hmm. And I think that has become our mantra, and everyone has drank my Kool-Aid and they understand. They know why we do it. We got people come in, and you can see in a couple of weeks they're around and they're not buying into it. They're not excited when we all get to look and try the fish special. Oh, what is it? Where does this all come from? The forager man has brought, nettles or sea asparagus or something that nobody's tried. So here it is. This is what it tastes like. This is, where it comes from. Talk to the guests. Like the amount of information that we are giving at a table, I think sets us a little bit above. Also,
like when you order a dish, what do you mean by that? What would my experience?
So you ordered the fish of the day, and it comes to you, and you're like, "Oh my, what is this? I've never seen these." Well, sir, that is sea asparagus. It's been harvested locally, like literally Crescent Beach, probably.
Oh wow!
And this is what we do to it. This is what it's good for you. This is why we have it. And you can go anywhere and get food put on a plate in front of you, and here you go. It might be delicious. You don't know for sure where all that came from, what that is. We put a charcuterie board in front of you. We tell you what those meats are, what those cheeses are, where they come from, why we bother to put this particular pickle on there or whatever it is. Diners, I think, are looking for experiences. Everything costs more money, like a lot more money.
Right.
And I would prefer to go somewhere where my server is explaining to me why the chef decided to do this. He thinks this pairs nicely with this, and then it's their job to, go home and tell their friends.
Well,
This is my experience.
Isn't that the best way of building a business, though, right?
It utters it.
Yeah.
We get so much word of mouth,
Right.
and obviously Google reviews are great, and we try to encourage people to name their server, and it's fun for us to keep track of little contests that you can win. Although one server in particular that just keeps winning, so it's kind of hard.
Do they get to clear out that swear jar after?
Right?
Check
Yeah,
that out?
dump it out.
Yeah.
Getting everybody on board and on page with why we do it. Why do we make ketchup? Well, because it tastes better. It has a third of the sugar. Makes mom happy. Kids like it.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a couple of adults that don't like it. They hide their Heinz in their pocket and use it when I'm not looking. It's fine.
Yeah.
I got over it. But there's a lot of options
Right.
for dining out. There's tons. And we don't do like delivery, DoorDash, all that. They've been hounding us. Actually, one point DoorDash was picking up for us, and it was all customer driven
Oh.
through them. They just had so many that they were just calling and ordering takeout on their own for these people.
Wow.
And it was a bit crazy. So we had DoorDash for free for a little while,
Yeah.
but it's not something we can manage. Like I can't, it's too busy. The kitchen's too small. We can't do that. So,
Right.
but we do takeout, and a lot of people come. They're like, I need dinner for 5. Can I bring my plates? So they'll bring their own dishes in, their platters in, and they understand that we are taking great care to make a good meal, and they appreciate that. I think that just being knowledgeable, passing on that knowledge, and being truthful.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, right? Like you go a lot of places, you're like, yeah, that's Atlantic salmon for sure.
Yeah.
And they're telling me it's BC wild. I don't throw my money away. I don't want other people to throw their money away. Obviously, we're humans. There's sometimes some errors, and we do our best to fix those as they come. But for the most part, we try to nail it every time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't know what the point of getting up is.
Yeah. Well, it obviously, number one, it's worked because, people keep coming back. You said it's an institution, and it is. It's like everyone talks about it. Everybody knows about it. As I said, we tell our clients to go down there when they're in from out of town to go check it out. It's one of the, we know that it's going to be consistently good food, not good food, great food. It's going to be consistently great food. It's going to be consistently great service. The view doesn't hurt either,
Sure
because it's one of the most beautiful locations we have in, the entire lower mainland. So that's always good. But they're going to run into great people, get great food, and have a really good experience. And then they're going to tell people there's no better way to run a business than that, right?
Yeah.
And it's cheap. You know what? You're already there.
Yeah.
Why not make the experience count? Why not make it for
We've had things happen like, they used to run a local burger contest, and then we just kept winning it, and they stopped doing it.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I was going to put a hot dog in if they did it again, but they didn't. So, and then poof, all of a sudden the province, we've got it on the wall. I think it was the province. They came in, we knew they were there, and they came and talked to us, took pictures of the burger, But nobody said that it was going to be the front page of the paper.
Wow.
I had zero warning. I called the butcher and was like, we're gonna need more burger meat. So the week that the province ran this best burger in the lower mainland, I was selling like 200 burgers a day.
Wow.
And
Out of a small kitchen.
yeah, it was getting a little bit out of control. But the burger people, we got them.
Mm-hmm.
We grabbed them, and now they eat all the food. There's some people that just come for burgers. You see them coming in, they're a group of rugby-looking boys, and they're just burgers. That's what they're here for. But a lot of those people, that was the gateway.
Yeah.
They got sucked into Uli's. They're like, well, if they make these great burgers, what else can they do?
So in the past, I know when we were kind of preparing for this, you had mentioned a little bit of a transition to different styles of food and whatnot. So Uli's was originally known for, is it German style food? Is that kind of where
the German and very kind of European centric. Yeah, I think when Tyson took over, the idea was to lighten it up, start using a lot more local product, just capture kind of the next generation, sort of our age. We were looking because the clientele had been with Uli's for a really, really long time. And, some of them stay, their kids move away, some of the kids move back. And those were the ones we're like, what do they need? What do they want? So The burger went on the menu pretty early on, and then then it got a little out of control. But we had, I don't know, 10, 12 burgers at one point. We had to cut it back a little, but there was a secret burger menu.
Oh, really?
It drew. Oh, yeah.
We might have to cut that out of here.
And then we finally printed the secret burger menu. Like, it's not a secret anymore. But yeah, we picked our favorites out. We kept them. We do Burger Tuesdays, a discounted burger on Tuesdays.
Okay.
And that's where we'll bring back the old ones for fun. And, you know, that's where my social media expertise comes in. When I start letting everybody know that their favorite 7.0 burger they used to love is back for one day only, or well, supplies last. It was a good transition though for us to that younger crowd, and who we had this insane beer list. Our beer list is still very solid, but we did go a bit crazy, I think, in the beginning.
Yeah.
Fridge space is a real problem. And so yeah, this like very lovely something for everybody. The wine list, we're right now transitioning back to our roots, where you're not going to be able to find any of these wines on our list pretty much anywhere unless you go to a winery or a specialty shop. We're going to start to focus on natural wines, some natural fermentation. So it's going to, once again, be a lot of at the table, just informing our guests and building their knowledge of this. And, you know, are they going to be scared to try it? We'll get them over it. I think we'll probably do like a discount day through the week where you can try one for like 30% off or something. Get people into it, because it's something, again, like we use our local butcher or baker, and we're trying to give everybody that business and you know, put their name out there. Same thing. Let's just find these little producers. There's a lot of people hurting with all the weather goings on and grapes and all that business. Right. So this is, change the conversation, I guess, make it happy and fun, and not, oh yeah, there's no Okanagan grapes this year, and we can get around that.
Yeah.
And the whole, I don't even want to get there too far, but the tariff business. I mean, I changed my French fries. They used to come from the States. They were the only thing that was coming out of the States aside from greens.
Yeah.
Soon as that all dropped, I got on the phone and I said, we need to talk to McCain, because they need to give us something different.
Yeah, well, I mean, it sounds like you've done a really good job for supporting like the community that supports you. So like, you know, you're talking a lot about like local producers, and, you know, whether it's like South Story, White Rock, I mean, you gotta, you know, we don't grow wine here. So, or grapes, you know, so you gotta go where it is. But I love that you're working really hard as a company or a business to support the community. That's kind of like what this whole initiative is about, is like people that really give back and provide to the community. And I mean, businesses like yours that have such a huge standing in the community too. It's just so exciting to hear that you do that, right? And those are the untold stories that maybe we don't hear about, to know that, you know, you sourced your meat from the local butcher when you could have bought it cheap. I was gonna say on Amazon. I don't think you might.
Well, we're getting there.
Maybe, yeah, it might be, yeah. But you know, there's always a cheaper option, right?
Yeah.
And you can play two games. You can play the race to be the cheapest, or you can play the race to be the best. And they're very different games, and there's different ways to get there, right? So by educating the people about the food you're serving and giving them that experience they're looking for, and supporting the community, which is then in turn going to support you back, and knowing about all the, you know, the great things you do, that's really neat. Yeah.
I think that food is costing so much these days. These are like thin margins. Nobody that owns a restaurant's getting rich anytime soon.
Sure.
And I'll be surprised if a lot of them are literally breaking even.
Right.
Because it's skyrocketed. And so the only thing you can really do if you want to continue to serve that quality is to ensure that it's perfect all the time, and that we're doing it always with a smile and efficiently and kindly, and, you know, taking into account that it's little Sally's birthday and she needs something special. And, you know, we love people, and people are why we're still in business. So we do what we can to make sure they're comfortable and happy. And
well, that clearly shows. You had made a comment to me though earlier, and I didn't want to lose this, and I'm hoping we can capture all the magic that you had, you know, given to me on it. But I really loved one of our conversations in preparation for this about your philosophy around hiring and trying to make it really inclusive and a family comfortable setting for the people that you hire, because that's important to you.
Yeah.
You know, people you work with and support are important.
It is extremely important, I think. Like I said, we've had these little kids that come in as high school teenagers, and now I see them, pushing strollers and being professionals. And we were a big part of their life because they spent a lot of time with us in a high stress situation. And we need to manage that so that they're not going home and crying in the shower at the end of the day.
Yes.
I mean, sometimes you have to have a cry, but nobody
Especially
did anything.
In the restaurant industry too, anybody that's worked there knows
You get
that is a
cooler,
thing.
you
Yeah.
just have your little moment,
Yeah.
and you get back on the floor.
That's right.
The food, the service, all of that is obviously very important, and it keeps us in business. But I do feel like my legacy will be that we were a kind and inclusive and safe place to be. Like the story I told you was that we got a phone call last summer, and we were staffed up, and I didn't really have any space, and I felt awful because this woman called and said she had a transgender child that was looking for a job and was struggling to find one, and heard that we were a safe place. I might get emotional. It is extremely important, especially in this neighborhood. I feel there's a lot of outward like bigotry and racism and just ignorance. So having a little place where they can come and feel safe and do their job and be part of a team, be part of this. Is that the crew does their little games after, and they're up all night, they're night owls. Watching those kids just immerse themselves into our business and our life and really understand like why we do it, why it's important that we ask you to do it like this. And it's fabulous. It really is obviously something that is extremely important to me. And I think the core team there, like my management team and Tyson, the owner, that's what we want to be known for. Yeah. Yes, we want everybody to have a great paella and a great burger and drink back that wine. But at the end of the day, the people that are like, oh, my son used to be a dishwasher here. And like, I had some dishwasher parents show up to my cooking class.
Yeah.
And they gush and they love us. And that's why it was a solid place for their kid to launch into adulthood.
That's amazing.
And we employ great number of those little ones, so it's fun. It's good every year, every summer. We get a couple newbies and watch them, kind of from nervous deer in the headlights to commanding the room and shouting out the priorities. Understand, like I've already done that. I'm like, ooh, I like this one. It's fun. There's got to be more. There's got to be more than just punching in and punching out.
Yeah, no, that's a really sweet story. Everyone deserves a chance, and everyone deserves to feel comfortable and feel safe in their work environments, and everyone's equal at the end of the day. So I love that you're coming from a place of love. So that's really awesome.
We try not to get like super political, but sometimes you just. Yeah. Right and wrong. There's a right and wrong.
Yeah,
we don't like to live in the gray too much.
Yeah, and thank goodness there is a right and a wrong, right?
Yeah.
So that's great. If this is a fun question for you, I'm excited to see how you answer this. Yeah, if you could grab someone by the shoulders and say, if there's one thing, when you're making your decisions about where to go to eat or what restaurant you're going to support. What should they feel to be important about that? What's maybe something that people don't know about the restaurant industry that they maybe take for granted, or what are the great reasons why we should choose Uli's to go, have our next birthday dinner at? What sort of thing might you say?
Well, I mean, I think that we're always trying to do our very best for everyone. And we recognize that we're not everybody's daily. There are some people that can afford to come and see us almost every day.
Sure.
There are a lot of people who that's not in the budget. So we're the special occasion place. And for that, if I had a red carpet, I would literally roll it out for some people because they're that special. They come and see us every occasion they can think of, they come and do it. And I think the reason why people should, and the reason why these people do, is because we treat them like family. We are kind to everyone, sometimes to a fault. Oh, just chatty. I got a lot of chatters on the floor. They know our lives. We are very open. Everybody is knowledgeable, and food's good.
The food is good.
Food's good.
The food is good. Jenny, it was such a pleasure to do this with you. I really, really appreciate you're a heck of an ambassador, not only for Uli's, but, I think for the community in general, learning about what not only the business does for, the kids and the teenagers and the young adults in the community, but also just for the community generally supporting businesses. And at the end of the day, making sure that everybody leaves happy and full.
Well, that's it. So nobody leaves hungry.
Nobody leaves hungry.
Be a crime.
I love that. Well, hey, I really appreciate you doing this, and thank you so much. And I hope lots of people go visit you and check out Uli's.
No, they certainly will.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.